All right, guys, we're back. Game number 2 of the day. Going to be having Infused taking on Uebelst here in the losers bracket. Once again, this is going to be a best of one. This is a round 2 loser bracket game. We're going to have MTW versus SGC for you guys right after this, so don't go anywhere after this broadcast is finished. Lone Druid and TA. Very interesting first bans out here from both of these teams, respectively. Of course, Lone Druid taken out by Infused, and then we're going to have TA taken out by Uebelst, and that's really strange. Typically, you don't see TA taken out early. Of course, we saw Wagamama play her the other day, and to pretty good success, I would say. Not necessarily the most standard build you've ever seen in your life, but it definitely got the job done. I think she went like Treads, BKB, and something like that. So it was definitely unorthodox to say the least, but definitely worked out for her. Chen going to be taken out by Uebelst as well. Now, at this particular phase, Naga is going to be banned out, and because of the fact that Infused is, in fact, on Dire side, that's pretty much no surprise there. No reason to let that hero go through. I would imagine that Darkseer is probably going to be their last ban out, but that leaves Enchantress in the pool as a jungler. It leaves Nature's Prophet in the pool, leaves Invoker in the pool. Very, very high tier heroes. We'll see which ones are going to get banned out here, but Uebelst taking the time a little bit more on their third ban. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is day number 3 of SE/WCG in Cologne, Germany. It's at Gamescom. Once again, my name is Draskyl, casting all these games for you today on behalf of NEODota.com. I would like to welcome you to the broadcast. And for whatever reason, my allergies today are actually pretty bad, so hopefully I don't accidentally sneeze or anything. I'm actually trying to hold one back right now, as we're going to go ahead and eat into bonus time right here. Uebelst, not really sure what they want to ban out. Maybe trying to mind game Infused into banning something else. Lycan's actually made it pretty far into the pool, so the fact that he's not banned out, you might see a Lycan ban, which would probably force a Darkseer ban coming out from Infused unless they're comfortable playing against it. I know that Infused actually has run heroes like Shadow Fiend before, much like we saw SGC in game number 1 today, and now we're going to see Leshrac banned out by Uebelst instead. So now they have a choice. They could take out the Darkseer, which gives away a Lycan, but at this point, I would imagine they're just not going to ban either. Maybe give away one, take the other. At this point, if they ban either of those heroes, they're kind of just conceding the fact that they're not going to get one extra high-tier hero. I mean, you could get something like a Nature's Prophet and a Darkseer, or a Nature's Prophet and a Lycan, which would probably make your lanes a little bit weaker. You have to pick up some pretty big slack in the laning phase to kind of recover from that. But at the very least, they're two very, very strong heroes. But we'll see what Infused wants to do here. Couple of seconds left until they start eating into their bonus time. Remember, guys, we still got a lot more games left today. At the very least, we're going to have the next game, of course, as I said before, it's going to be MTW taking on SGC. Then we're going to have round 3, which is another best of 1 inside the losers bracket. So the winner of this game taking on the winner of MTW versus SGC, and then the winner of that round 3 will go on to face whoever gets knocked down from the winner's bracket for the loser bracket finals. And then, of course, after that are the grand finals, which I'm unable to cast. But Lycan is going to be taken out by Infused here. So instead of just leaving it in the pool and taking whichever one that Uebelst does not want to take, they're going to go ahead and take it out completely. So now Darkseer is going to be first picked, and now Nature's Prophet is available. Wouldn't put it past him to take it here. You have things like Invoker on the table as well. You have even Windrunner in some cases, Enigma. Leshrac was banned out, so that's going to be another hero we're not going to be seeing this game. But a pretty interesting choice from Wagamama to ban that out. I really did not expect it. They're going to go ahead and pick up Rubik and CK, so that leaves Furion in the pool yet again. They're not going to go with either of those heroes. Of course, because they gave away Darkseer already against Chaos Knight, I mean, Darkseer Wall is actually pretty effective on top of Vacuum and Ion Shell. It kills the Phantasms pretty darn quick, and you don't really need a whole lot of AoE on top of that to really just completely negate Phantasm in a team fight. So that's a little bit unfortunate that they're playing up against that Darkseer. On the other hand, Chaos Knight still has a very strong stun. It lasts up to 4 seconds, and it can roll a very high damage. I think it's like 375 or something like that at max rank, so it's a pretty heavy nuke if you get a good roll on it. And you can also focus down that Darkseer pretty fast with Telekinesis as well and Fade Bolt. So they're bringing a lot of burst damage to the table. Brewmaster and Enchantress picked up here by Uebelst, so very aggressive picks. They're going to be playing somewhat of an early to mid-game strategy here, I would assume, with the Brewmaster having his ultimate. Enchantress getting level 6. Impetus is very strong at around that point in the game. And, of course, her innate tankiness. I mean, burst damage is kind of her weakness. She needs a little bit of time to heal up. She's a lot like Morphling in that regard. Instead of Morph, though, you have the Nature's Attendants, which have to take some time to heal you up. But if you do manage to get it off and don't take just a massive burst, you can live for a pretty long time. And I wouldn't put it past Uebelst right now to go ahead and run an aggressive trial lane. But we'll see, as the third pick is going to be coming out here from Infused in just a second. And looking at their lineup so far, of course, they still need a mid. If that Rubik isn't going to be going mid, which I seriously doubt he will, he's probably just going to be supporting. Like most Rubiks we typically see, they could pick a mid, they could pick a long laner, they could pick a potential jungler. Wow, Mirana picked third. That is a hero that I don't think I've seen in God knows how long, probably a couple of months, I would say. Even closer to the first international is when that hero was pretty much picked up more often than not. And a little bit after the fact, she kind of lingered off, and people picked her for a while, especially the European teams, but she really fell out of favor. And she has high mobility. She is pretty useful in the early phases of the game, but she's so reliant on landing those arrows. But she does have pretty good setup. She has a Chaos Knight Bolt. She has telekinesis from Rubik. You can actually telekinesis people into an arrow if you actually miss. But, I mean, that would be some next level plays coming out. The next ban phase is going to go ahead and roll around here. Wisp taken out by Uebelst. Now we're going to see what Infused wants to do. And I mean, I guess they're taking away the possibility of a Wisp or CK combination or things like that. Would be pretty hard to avoid. Reality Rift pretty much guaranteed tether stuns no matter what. And then, of course, you can just Phantasm and then Chaos Bolt on top of that. And it's a pretty hard gank to avoid no matter what hero you are. So I think it's a pretty solid ban coming out here from Kuro on Team Uebelst. So now, 22 seconds left here until they start eating into their bonus time for Infused. They're kind of taking their time here. They're not really sure what they want to ban out. It is going to be Nature's Prophet. Right now, though, because they do have a guaranteed jungler, Enchantress is probably not going to be seen in the lane here. That means Brewmaster is probably going to be mid. They're going to have Darkseer either long lane or maybe even jungle unless they want to do like a double jungle, which would be just really strange. Sending Enchantress aggressive and then Darkseer defensive. I don't think that's going to happen either. Probably just going to be a standard Darkseer long and a Brewmaster mid and then Enchantress defensively jungling, which means they're going to want to protect somebody unless they just flip their lane around completely and send the Enchantress to the opposite side of the map and have the Darkseer safe lane, which I suppose could happen, but it just depends on what Infuse is going to be laning. And lanes are so important in Dota 2. I mean, it's more than just drafting. It's making sure that you get the best out of your lanes to ensure that you know what your team is capable of when you draft it, but if you don't get the start that you want, it can kind of ruin whatever plan you had. Enigma, by the way, going to be the last ban of the game out from Uebelst. Now, one more to go from Infused, and then we're going to be getting towards the last two of these picking heroes. Now, this is a point where Mirana CK already picked up. That's a lot of farm that you need, right? So Infuse's lineup is probably not going to be picking any more farming type heroes. They'll probably pick a mid and another hard support, and that's pretty much all they're going to want at this point unless Mirana plans on going mid, or if they plan on like dual laning, something crazy like that. There aren't really any junglers left. Enigma was taken out, Enchantress was picked by Uebelst, and Chen was banned out by them as well. So they really don't have anything left in that particular situation, but right now, I mean, I really got to say, I'm liking Uebelst's lineup a lot more than Infused just because of the fact that around level 6, they're going to be so tough to deal with. Like, you have Brewmaster split, you have Darkseer. He's not going to get his wall probably until 10 or 11, or 10 and 11, I should say, because that's typically when most people get it. The first wall is only 15 seconds. Queen of Pain going to be the last ban of the game out completely here from Infused. Venomancer instantly picked here by Uebelst. They definitely needed some kind of a support, and we might see the return of a Darkseer Venomancer long lane. I mean, that lane is pretty strong. You pop out the Gale, you stand right next to him with Ion Shell. That's pretty tough to deal with. It's a lot of sustained damage. Ancient Apparition here, picked up by Infuse as well. So that could be their potential mid. Rubik or AA or Mirana could all mid in this situation, depending on who they're going to be going against. It is going to be a brew, so I would imagine that they're going to want some kind of range hero that can actually trade and harass with it. Morphling going to go ahead and round out Uebelst's lineup, so that's kind of like their fail-safe now. That Morphling is likely going to be in the safe lane. I can't imagine them putting him anywhere else. They just want to have something to fall back on in case their early or mid-game goes awry, and it's a pretty strong choice. He can even fight in the mid-game, too. That's kind of why Morphling is often banned out by a lot of teams. And Puck picked up by Infuse. Very, very interesting choice. I gotta say, this is probably going to be a trial lane of AACK and Rubik, and then a Mirana solo mid, and maybe a Puck solo bottom. That's kind of my guess. I mean, this is a little bit strange. I haven't seen anything quite like this in a very, very long time. I don't typically see Mirana and Puck on the same team. We are going to have a pause out here by Uebelst. Infused going to run over their players really fast. Region going to be playing on Chaos Knight. Pinoy, the substitute for EGM, I believe, playing on Puck. Mini going to be playing on Rubik. Wagamama taking up the reins on this Mirana. Fishbone going to be playing on Ancient Apparition. Then for Uebelst, we're going to have Kuro playing on Enchantress. Pos playing on Darkseer. Alex going to be playing on the Venomancer. Leaf playing on that Morphling, which means that Armen is going to be playing on... What was their last hero? Wow, I'm totally spacing out today. Somebody in chat is going to remind me here in a second, but for whatever reason, I can't remember what the last hero actually was on that team. So they had the Darkseer, they had the Enchantress, they had the Venomancer, the Morphling, and something else. And I'm drawing a total... Brew. There we go. Ha! I remember now. And by remembered, I mean I looked at the chat and cheated. So thank you guys for that. But at the moment, not really sure what's going on. Not really sure why. Uebelst needed to pause. Rejoining Dota 2. Okay, so he decided to restart his game. So he'll be back in here in just a second. I want to thank you guys again for watching. Of course, there are other streams you could be watching. I know the main stage is actually just going to be starting here in a couple of minutes. If you want to check that out, feel free. I know that Epi's casting that on the main stream there on the SE 2012 stream, I think it is, for Twitch TV. So whoever's playing in the winner's bracket is going to be on that stream. And then, of course, a loser's bracket played by us. I'm not sure yet if we're going to ever be allowed to cast the grand finals. It would be very cool of WCG/SE to let us do that. But I don't know if we're actually going to be able to get away with it. Looks like RMN has reconnected to the game. He's going to be taking up the reins on that Brewmaster. So right now, RMN playing on the Brew. Going to be the last fear from Uebelst as he finally picks his hero and loads into the game. Hopefully we can get everything underway for you guys here in just a second. Seems like this weekend has been kind of ridden with computer problems and stuff like that. You know, you hate to see it, but it's pretty common in all honesty. People just have computer issues on LAN. It's just how things happen. And because people don't always use the same voice communication programs, I know yesterday we had to wait like an hour just for somebody to install TeamSpeak on their computer. Of course, nothing like that happened today. Leaf asking if Infused is ready. Region with a ready, good luck, have fun. Typical manner coming out from Infused. Very mannered team. We'll see what the lanes are going to shape up to be. I have to imagine Wag is going mid. I mean, I'm really thinking a tri-lane. AACK tri-lane is very strong, especially with the Rubik. Rubik is going to be picking up some wards, and he's actually going to be heading towards bottom. Fishbone buying some sentries, so he's definitely heading top with the CK for sure. I would imagine that Puck's going to be going down here, played by Pinoy. Right now, he's going to be meeting the Leaf in this bottom lane. Of course, Puck isn't going to get really any CS in this lane, but he's going to get his levels. It's very hard to chase him down. They are going to have a Venomancer probably down here to boot. Alex kind of roaming around here towards the jungle. Does have that Gale at level 1. The rest of Infused making their way towards their own top lane. Fishbone and CK already here. Mirana actually up here as well, along with Mini. No one's really skilled anything just yet. Only Chaos Bolt and Cold Feet skilled by these two here as Ancient Apparition and the CK. Gonna have another pause out here by Pos. Hopefully no more computer issues happening on their end. So Darkseer is going to be soloing top against this tri-lane, and to be totally honest, this is a tri-lane that Darkseer, he can Ion Shell a creep and sit at his tower, and that's pretty much it. If he gets caught, even at level 1, he's going to get Telekinesis, Chaos Bolt, and Cold Feet, and that's 3 heroes auto-attacking him as well. There's no way he can survive that damage. He doesn't even have a Stout. He's going for the quick Soul Ring. He doesn't have any damage mitigation except for the 5 base armor, which is a lot, especially for a hero that's int-based, but I mean, he's still going to be taking a huge amount of right-click damage from the tri-lane that Infused has to offer right here, so he can't get himself out of position ever. Although the same could be said for this Puck as well. Even with Orb, it is a very good escape ability. If you get Galed, Gale lasts so long, 15 seconds, pretty much at every single rank, and I don't think Alex actually spotted Pinoy out here. And now we're going to have a pause here by Infused. Leaf donning some of his Morphling gear down here. I can't even really... It just looks a little bit glitchy to me. I mean, I know it's not, but it almost doesn't even look like it's on him. Definitely some strange stuff right there. Wagamama coming towards that middle lane. Mini kind of sitting around here as well, maybe looking to ward aggressively here on this side of the river, as we have seen time and time again from the European teams of this tournament. Region starting with his Stout Shield, so he's going for more of a I don't want to take any damage build, and going Stout in this kind of a lane, I mean, it's almost, in my opinion, better to just go for the quick earn, because you know you're going to be against a solo. There's pretty much only one way Uebelst would have ever laned this, and I mean, buying a Stout is good if you plan on fighting early, but what's a solo Darkseer going to do? I mean, this Stout is going to basically give him nothing in the laning phase, and I doubt he'll be making a Vanguard out of it, so unless he's going to be roaming around once he gets to like level 5 or 6, then I don't really see a point to carrying this, but we'll see what happens. There could be some maybe quick fights going on at top lane if we see that they want to go try versus try, which I seriously doubt is the case because Infused tri lane is much stronger pretty much in every single regard. They have double stun, actually triple stun if you want to count Cold Feet. Looks like middle lane, we're going to have a Venomancer and a Brew here. Alex actually sitting here middle lane. Waga, of course, going to be playing mid for Infused on that Priestess of the Moon, something that we don't get a chance to see very often. I'm pretty excited to see it in action. Top lane, double damage picked up by that Darkseer, but of course he can't really get into creep range at all. CK and AA going to be sitting up here trying to stop him. And we see already reaction coming out of Infused. They're going to do a 2 versus 2. And of course, this means 2 ranged versus 1 ranged, 1 melee. It's going to be pretty tough for Armen to get any farm. He didn't start with a stout either, so he's going to be very easy to harass. He only has 3 base armor, so he's going to be taking quite a bit of damage from the right clicks of Mini and Wagamama. Then in bottom lane, oh, we just heard a Gale go off here in middle lane. Wagamama taking quite a bit of damage. Manages to leap away from the clap. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss first blood this time. I'm going to try my darndest not to miss it for the, I guess, technically 3rd game in a row because I missed it yesterday, too, at the very last game. Now Leaf converting some stats bottom lane into agility to make sure he can outlast hit this Puck. And Puck still hits pretty hard. I mean, he started with a Mantle 3 branches. That's almost the highest base damage you can start with while still being somewhat stat efficient. Right now, though, he's sitting at 3 and 2, which is pretty impressive considering Morphling's base damage, and honestly, his animation lead, too, is just so tough to deal with. They're going to have a ping out here bottom. Looks like Enchantress coming in from the side, maybe looking to force some kind of an orb, and he already did orb. It's going to be up in 2 seconds, though. Going to see the net creep come off here. Kuro coming in from the side. Centaur will not be able to catch this. He's a little bit too far away. He tries to get a range, but he's just going to be barely out. Centaur Stomp does have a cast time, so he wasn't able to quite get that stun off. Chaos Knight farming away in the top lane, sitting at 4 and 3. Later in the game, of course, then Enchantress, who is walking in the jungle now. Morphling overtakes it with his 6 and 1. I think Puck's going to be pretty good in the mid game, though, especially considering Silence and just the sheer initiation range right now of Infused. I mean, they can pick and choose their fights so easily. They're going to have Murano ultimate. They're going to have Puck ultimate, which is just giant range, like I just said. I mean, they can do whatever they want. They have AA ultimate for global as well. So if Puck catches anyone, especially the supports like Venomancer and the Enchantress, AA ultimate plus Puck ultimate, it's pretty easy to line that up. So you can always make sure that you get a free kill basically out of it. And RMN is just really struggling in this middle lane. He's actually got his bottle. He's sitting at 6 and 2, but you can see how far back he's sitting right now. He's actually dropped all his stats to make sure he gets the most out of his potion and his bottle regen right there. Level 4 here on Morphling. Level 3 here on the Puck. The Puck, of course, went to that bottom rune. And middle lane, still playing very aggressive here. These double ranged heroes don't really have to concede too much. Mini's the one who really can't get out of position. Wagamama can do pretty much what he wants. Even with the clap and a Venomancer slow, after 1 leap, there's no way that they can really continue to chase unless they want to take a huge amount of damage from Mini with auto attacks and stuff like that. And Fabled, of course, reduces their auto damage as well. Waveform going in there. Nice Fate attempt. Actually doesn't work. Going to go ahead and force Puck to orb back. And this is kind of the weakness of a Puck in a long lane. Even in a 1v1, he can't really ever trade with anyone. I mean, if you look at the hero right now, he has 2 base armor, one of the worst animations pretty much in the game. 7 armor in comparison to that on Morphling, now 74 base damage compared to 57. And plus better animation on the Morphling because of the higher base agility. It's just such a hard lane for him to do anything. And I mean, he's still doing a pretty decent job. He's sitting at 7 and 2. Morphling, though, 18 and 4. So he's pretty much getting completely bullied. Not really anything Puck can do about that, though. So the Morphling going to be free farming here for Uebelst. That's something that they're going to be looking forward to for the mid stages of the game. Draskyl, though, having a really rough time. Only level 3 in comparison to the level 4 now of Puck. So in terms of long lane versus long lane, Infused is actually doing okay. But I think for the most part that they wanted maybe a little bit more out of this Puck if he was going to actually be able to solo reliably against one hero. We are going to hear a Gale go off here. Wagamama going to be forced to leap up to the high ground. He's actually stuck up here. As the Plague Roar goes off, he doesn't have a TP either. We're going to see anyone else come over here. I don't think so. Alex trying to do what he can, throw out some auto attacks, but he definitely needs help throwing out another Plague Ward. RMN trying to get in range for the clap, but Mini's going to come by here too. Clap doesn't actually hit. He just completely airballs it. But Wagamama is still taking auto attack damage. Here comes Ancient Apparition from the side. There's the telekinesis. Alex going to get frozen in place, and the arrow hits. Alex going to get first blooded instead. And now we're going to see a Crow made instantly as he pings out here. Leap up to the high ground, unfortunately saved him. I mean, I thought that Alex was going to be able to get him, but nice reaction from Infused, sending their Ancient Apparition over, making sure they could get the kill on Venomancer before Wagga died, and his leap came off cooldown, so now he's going to be able to get down off of that ledge and make his way back towards middle lane. And that is not the kind of start that I think that Uebelst wanted for this game. That is very, very unfortunate. Wagamama actually didn't get the first blow, though. Looks like it was Ancient Apparition who ended up picking up the kill. 30 and 4 CS here for Leaf on this Morphling. Already has a Bassi, already has a Ring of Health wand. He hasn't basically used any of his regen whatsoever. He is basically totally free farming at this point, and Enchantress free farming as well. So even though Infused got that first blood, in terms of overall lanes, I mean, even the Panda is the 4th highest farmer in the game, actually tied with CK, and CK is basically against no heroes right now. So with that being said, Uebelst doing a fantastic job of maximizing the lane efficiency. They were actually quite a bit ahead there in terms of gold for how early it is, considering the way their lanes have worked out for them. At the moment, though, 1-0. Infused currently leads. Pinoy trying to do what he can in terms of harassment damage, but it just doesn't matter. Pinoy taking so much damage from the waveform in. One right click brings him to almost no HP. He does have a bottle. Probably going to be crowing that to just sustain himself in the lane. The only thing he can really do at this point is just orb for CS. He might be able to CS under the tower. And yeah, there's just an orb. I mean, that's really the only thing he can do. It's kind of like a situation where you have to sit so far back, you're never really going to try to outlast hit the person anyway. So you just have to try to nuke and get as much CS as you can. Arrow going off towards the top river. Going towards that haste rune. RMN will be able to bottle it up, though. Let's see if they want to actually go on top. They're going to ping it out, though, so Infused knows this is coming. Both AA and CK are getting back pretty much instantly. And yeah, RMN is just going to think wisely and go back towards mid because he knew that that wasn't going to happen. RMN eating a couple of auto attacks from Mini here. And Mini's playing pretty ballsy, man. I mean, haste rune on this Panda, he could definitely go in. Mini does have level 2 telekinesis, though. RMN going for the no haze build, just going for the Drunken Brawler, and of course the clap. Lee finishing up his wand in the bottom lane, sitting at 38 and 6. His farm, I mean, he's almost not missed any CS in this lane. So he's doing a phenomenal job. In comparison, CK leading for Infused right now at 26 and 7. Darkseer actually doing a relatively good job of keeping up in CS. He's 14 right now, 19 for Puck. So the two long laners actually pretty much neck and neck right now in terms of overall farm. And taking a peek at the gold, Infused is kind of creeped ahead by about 300. Nothing really too noticeable. And the experience is pretty much dead even at this point. Gold per minute wise, of course, Morphling leading. Looks like Pinoy manages to finally disjoint one of the waveforms out there from Leaf here in this bottom lane. So not taking that level 4 wave to the face is going to be something that he's going to be looking forward to, I'm sure. Going for the standard 3-1-1 build, 3 into the orb, 1 waning rift, and 1 phase shift, of course, and then 1 into your ultimate. And this is the point where Puck is probably going to try to buy a TP sometime soon and try to make a gank happen on mid, maybe before the Brewmaster can hit 6. Because if he does hit 6 before the Puck actually ganks, then our men can just ult out of it unless he gets pretty much chain stunned, which I suppose is a possibility, but it's a little tougher to execute that way. It's a little bit more lenient if you just have the Brewmaster 1 level lower. He does have a haste rune, though, so he might be able to escape the gank regardless. Puck, though, not going to choose to go anywhere. Kuro going to throw out a spear from the high ground onto Pinoy as he goes towards the bottom rune spot, but he's not going to find it, as it's going to be top lane. Alex going to go ahead and pick up that regen. Going to go ahead and throw out the Gale onto Wagga as well. Haste pop by RMN. The leap is used. There's a Thunderclap. Now Wagga in a lot of trouble. We'll see if Mini can get a good telekinesis on Alex. Or throws it back. It does manage to stun. There's the air on the cold feet coming in as well. And Paz coming in. This is going to be a huge team fight. Puck Ultimate actually on RMN on the top side. Are they going to get him before he actually hits 6? Can he even get out of this fight? He gets a triple clap, but he dies right afterwards. Now Darkseer with the Iron Shell. Going to go ahead and pick up a kill on that Ancient Apparition. Looks like Venomancer dropped as well. That's a double kill, though, for the Darkseer. Now level 7. He was the only one left at 2-for-2 trade. They didn't lose their Mirana, though. Ended up losing the Brewmaster and the Veno. I think overall, the Darkseer definitely got the better end of that situation. But man, I don't know why they decided to go on RMN so heavily right there. If they had just ulted the 2 heroes in the back, I think it probably would have been a bit better. Of course, Darkseer would have been stuck in that coil, unable to chase, but ultimately, a 2-for-2 trade. This entire time, though, Morphling sitting bottom lane, able to free farm because no one is contending him right now, sitting at 55 and 14 last hits, 345 gold per minute at just 9 minutes in. He's going for Lincoln's, by the way, picked up his Perseverance, has the boots finished. RMN, almost level 6 now. Should get it after this creep wave, I believe. Even with Venomancer here. Oh, no, actually, I think he's going to need 1 more creep after this. Oh, never mind, he did hit it. So, Catapult, more experience in a melee creep, of course. But, Morphling, walking his way down. Pinoy, only sitting at level 6. He didn't get much experience for that last team fight. I thought he would have at least gotten level 7 out of that, but he's still going to be sitting at level 6. Middle lane, Wagamama sitting here solo right now versus the Brewmaster and the Venomancer. We're going to see Darkseer make his way back up to his long lane, picking up a Ring of Health, has his Soul Ring finished already, and that experience for him is so important, man. He has his max rank of Iron Shell. We're going to see an A Ultimate actually going towards bottom lane. They're going to go ahead and pick up on this Morphling. There's the Poke Ultimate. Here comes A Ultimate to boot, and Leaf is definitely not making it out of this one. He's taking so much damage. He has to replicate out, though. Can he actually make it through this? Oh my god, it's so close. It's actually not going to kill him. He was converting strength so early. Maybe a little bit jumping the gun right there from Mini and Pinoy. If they'd waited a bit longer, he wouldn't have had a head start on converting stats when he had the damage taken out on him. And he barely lives through it, man. I can't believe that he actually got away from that, but nice job coming out from Uebelst Morphling. Gonna hear Arrow go off and actually Telekinesis and Kofi going off on a Kuro, and he's definitely not living through that one. Of course, did the last time, but we did see the Enchantress / Deer crumple to the ground. Our man taking some auto attacks in middle lane. Does have his ultimate up if he wants to pop it. Mini actually sitting at no mana. We'll see if Uebelst actually wants to engage into this. They do have the Darkseer up here in the top lane with a TP. He can always come to a team fight if he wants to. Trading a bottle right here. Looks like Wagga wants to give Mini some mana. They do also have the AA in the backup here. He has his ultimate up. If they can telekinesis this Panda and nuke him down with the A ultimate, they can definitely burst him before he can ult, but it's going to be all down to coordination. Is he going to go for it? He's going to go and throw the telekinesis. There's the high ground A ultimate, and the Brewmaster split gets off before it, so now they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Rock going off onto actually Fishbone. Fire Spirit coming in to chase him down. There's a Gale on the Fishbone as well. Looks like the Fire Aspect is taking some tower hits. We're going to see the Storm Spirit throw up the Rubik in the back. And the rest of Brewmaster's aspects are just going to go ahead and make it back as Mirana pops the ultimate here. Getting a very early ultimate right at level 6, going for the 3-1-1 and then ult. Some players like to delay that, go for higher arrows or higher leap ranks, but not Wagamama. He's just going to want to get the invis up pretty much as soon as possible, and that's pretty good against a Brewmaster, honestly. Pretty cool stuff.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Right now, just 12 minutes into the game. Of course, only 6 kills on the board so far, so maybe one of the less action-packed games so far. Morphling still sitting at the top of the farm chart, 65 and 16, followed closely by CK up here on Infused, played by Region. 51 and 8 for him. Chaos Knight, pretty good hero last time I checked in the mid-game. He actually hasn't been too active on the map, though, picking up a Bracer and Treads, has his wand finished. Level 4 Cast Bolt and level 4 Reality Rift. We'll see if they're going to try to catch out Darkseer right here. Looks like they want to try to go for him. He's going to take some damage from the Ion Shell and actually choose to not go in at all. They're going to go back in and try to kill the neutrals, but Ion Shell has already pretty much done its job. Darkseer actually sitting at 51. He's right behind this CK in terms of farm. And that's a situation where long laner versus long laner, I mean, Uebelst is pulling ahead. This puck can't really farm at the same rate as a Darkseer just because of the way that Darkseer works. Kuro, once again, being very annoying on the high ground, throwing out some impetus auto attacks onto Pinoy. He's going to force him to pop that phase shift and walk towards the bottom rune, but of course it is not there. Arman, in the meantime, picking up his phase, full wand, 7 charges on that. Level 7 has the max rank of his clap up, ready to go whenever they want a team fight, but this is kind of the one weakness for Uebelst's lineup is that if they don't fight around Panda Ultimate, they're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. Infuse's ultimates are much shorter cooldown. A ultimate is 45-second cooldown. Puck ultimate's not that long either. It's only 85 seconds, so they can fight much more often, I would say. Mirana, I think, is the longest one they have, and that's 160. Yeah, but 3 or almost 3 minute cooldown is really not that bad, considering the fact that it's a full team invis. It's very, very useful in a lot of situations. Can prevent people from getting ganked. It can let you initiate pretty much for free if the other team doesn't have sentries. It's very useful against spirits as well from the split coming out from Brewmaster. It's just a really good ultimate overall, and I'm actually kind of happy that we get to see that Mirana picked up here. We're going to see another A ultimate coming towards this bottom lane. We'll see if Puck can actually land all his abilities in succession. There's the Puck ultimate coming off, and Leaf this time not going to get a waveform through, and there's the Orb and the silence to boot. Fable coming off from Mini, and Puck picks up the kill, so Infused with a commanding kill lead right now, 3 kills higher. Now we're going to see Kuro come in from the side. Benny actually has Clap stolen, throws it off onto Kuro. Kuro's going to pop the Nature's Attendants. Only level 2. Fable goes off. Is he going to dodge the orb? No, gets creep blocked instead. Double kill coming out from Puck, so Uebelst feeding away. 2 kills right there. 2 Infused. Now we'll see if they want to try to push this bottom tier 1 tower. RMN in the meantime, picking up a regen rune, making his way back towards mid. This tower bottom lane being pressured just a bit, but Kuroki's Centaur and Satyr down here trying to prevent any pushing from being done. Middle lane looks like an arrow landed on RMN. He does have his split up if he needs it. Wagamama actually gets scaled and he chooses not to go in. So they're just going to go ahead and back up. Plague Ward's being dropped here. Looks like there's level 3 Plague Wards. A ultimate not going to be anywhere near the mark. Looks like it was just a forced safety measure right there. Darkseer is sitting at level 10, by the way. I think he's actually the highest level in the game. Yeah, he's tied for the highest level in the game, right behind Morphling. Both level 10. Level 9 for the Puck, level 9 for the CK. So that's really good for him. 317 GPM for the Morphling, of course, still leading the graph. 294 for the Darkseer. And he's going in, man. He wants to go for Region. Vacuum, ooh, barely misses right there. Only level 2 is Surge. Level 3 Vacuum, by the way, he did get wall at level 10. But not going for the 4-4-1, going for the 3-4-2. So getting a little bit of extra time on that Surge. Actually kind of cost him a kill right there. Leaf, bottom lane. Sitting on top of his Treads and Perseverance. Did he actually buy his Ultimate Orb yet? Nope, he didn't. So his farm is actually like, he doesn't have his Lincolns just yet. He doesn't have his Ultimate Orb. It's fallen off just a bit, but they're still doing pretty good. 2 heroes mid right now from Uebelst. Looks like it's about to be 3. Venomancer, Enchantress, and Brewmaster all making their way towards this tier 1 to see if they can try to push it down. Gonna see TP reaction coming out from Infused. Wagamama does have ult, but are they gonna use it? That's the question. Regen coming in, he does have that drum. He's not gonna pop it just yet, though. There's a reality rift going on to Armen. He gets split off before the stun even comes off. Gonna see a boulder coming off as well. AL will head on Kuro. Oh man, the Fade Bolt as well. Kuro's not gonna live through this. There's a 2-second chaos bolt, more than enough to get the kill. We're gonna see the puck flying up in the air right here for just a second. The rest of Uebelst trying to fall back. Morphling actually not even TPing to the fight. We're going to see Rubik thrown up in the air once again as Brewmaster finally does have his ultimate end. He's going to run into tower range, thinking about clapping. He actually steals the Brewmaster split. Now we're going to have a counter split right here. 3-second stun onto Armen. The arrow goes off as well. Beautiful arrow there by Wagamama. Lined it up perfectly with the reality rift. Now we're going to see the Storm Spirit go in. It looks like they want to try to hunt down Alex. Can he get the Cyclone off? It looks like he will. And now we're going to see another stun coming off onto this Venomancer. Nothing he can do about this. And we're going to see another kill. 4-second Chaos Bolt. Alex not making it back home. Regen picking up the kill. 2-9. Infused taking a dominant lead right there in terms of kills. Morphling, though, manages to get the bottom tower. Gets the kill himself. Didn't get denied. Wagamama TP down here, but it's a little bit late. Morphling looks like he's going to run. Ooh, he doesn't get run into the ult, and the arrow's going to hit him. He's trying to convert stats, but of course it doesn't do anything with that AA Frostbite on. Wagamama pops the Invis. He does have a max charge one. Here comes Regen, though. 2-second stun. Is that going to be long enough? He's going to try to Starfall. Leaf actually waveforms to the side, and it looks like he will be able to make it back to safety. Going to see a replicate used here. Probably going to see Leaf TP out here in just a second and just come back to the lane via that Chaos Knight replicate. Infused looking pretty darn good at the moment, but again, I mean, Uebelst is doing such a good job of maximizing their farm. 97 for the Morphling, 80 for the Darkseer, 68 for the Brewmaster. I mean, they're actually ahead in gold. Reality Rift in middle lane, Armen once again. We're going to see the puck ultimate go off. Here's the ultimate as well, and the orb. A ultimate not even necessary. Armen just absolutely disintegrates, and as much experience as they're getting, they're still trailing in gold, and experience is very important, don't get me wrong, especially on heroes like Rubik, Puck, even Mirana. All their abilities scale so well, not to mention Ancient Apparition ult being level 2 at some time soon in the game would be definite benefit for Infused here. Level 8 on the Ancient Apparition, by the way. He is maxing Ice Vortex. A lot of times you'll see just one rank into it, and then they'll go stats. They won't get the Icy Touch ever, or Chilling Touch, which is the auto attack buff that actually slows your attack speed. Not many people like to get that, but usually you see the 4-1 and then stats with the ult, but not going to be seen this game. So full support A, played here by Fishbone. Taking away as much magic resist as he can with that Ice Vortex because he wants to line it up with the Starfall. He has the Rubik Fade Bolt as well. And of course his own Cold Feet and his Ice Blast. So the tower middle is actually going to die. They don't deny it, which is a little bit strange. But that's extra gold again for Uebelst. Wagamama sitting in the top lane, farming away, sitting at 1,500 gold. Not sure what he's going to go for. A lot of Maranas nowadays actually build Drum, but Drum is already finished by Regen, so I assume he's probably just going to go for a typical Manta MKB or something like that, which is pretty much the standard, I think, for all Marana builds. I think AO is probably the team who ran him the most, or her, I should say. And they would always go like Manta straight into MKB every single game after phase. And don't get me wrong, it worked. I mean, that was a pretty potent item combination. You do quite a bit of damage. MKB, probably the highest DPS item in the game outside of Daedalus, and of course Rapier, once you reach a certain damage threshold for the crit. Manny's sitting in bottom lane, playing this pretty aggressively. He does have Brewmaster split still. He can pop it again one more time if he wants to try to engage into a team fight. He needs to make sure he doesn't get stunned out, though. But to be totally honest, Uebelst has 0 stuns. They have the Brewmaster's Earth aspect stun, and that's it. Other than that, they have Darkseer, who's like a mini stun, but that's not really going to help you in a team fight too much when you're worrying about Brewmaster, or Brewmaster ultimates that have been stolen from you, basically.
Top tower is under attack.
Infused sitting over here to the side. Looks like they're still trying to bait out here. We just see massive amounts of pings. Marana actually not here, so this is basically a 4v5. If Uebelst notices that Wagamama's pushing top, and they do pretty much get a top tower, the rest of Uebelst is going to go ahead and back up. Kuro coming in from the side here, not going to be spotted out by the ward just yet. We see more pings off here onto Infused. It looks like Uebelst wants to try to go in, but they're going to just go ahead and back up. And I don't know if going to the late game is really what they want at this point against a CK and a Marana late game and an Ancient Apparition who does already hard counter Morphling. I mean, that's a really tough situation to be in. We didn't talk about that so much, but Ancient Apparitional against a Morphling is very, very good. Armen going to be able to get that Invis rune, blink back up to the high ground, and Chant going to be used on Regen, but they're not going to choose to pursue it. He will be safe for the moment. 117 last hits, by the way, for this Morphling. So, I mean, he's still doing very, very well in terms of CS. Darkseer second place, sitting at 91. And then Wagamama, after that, sitting at about 82. Wagamama sitting at almost 3,000 gold, by the way. So that's definitely good for her. Looking at the net worth,
Radiant's
Morphling,
middle tower
of course,
is under
leading the
attack.
way by quite a large margin.
Radiant
Almost 1,000
structures
gold.
are
Almost as
fortified.
enough for his Lincolns, actually. And the gold per minute, he's still leading that as well. At 380. Oh, man. Huge smoke up here going towards the bottom lane. Leaf. Oh, man. Leaf might be in a lot of trouble here. He has 1,700 health, though. He might even be able to live through this. A Sentry is going to go ahead and spot out Pinoy, but he's going to run right into 4 heroes. Anyway, 3-second cast ball. There's the cold feet, and he's going to drop here pretty much. No way he's going to be living through that. Wow. I'm pretty sure they ran right into the Sentry. Maybe it was just nighttime and they didn't see it. But that looked pretty close to me. Maybe he just didn't see vision of it. Wagamama actually going for a Maelstrom, by the way. So he's going to be going for a Mjolnir, not going for a Manta or anything like that. Darkseer sitting on top of level 12. Has the pipe finished. 1,300 gold. No Stout Shield or anything like that. Not going for a Vanguard. Just going for pure magic reduction with that pipe build. Uebelst looking to go down mid. They are missing their Morphling right now. They do have Brewmaster Split, though. It's only level 1. 21 minutes into the game. I mean, honestly, the Rubik is higher level right now than the Panda, and that's kind of a problem. We're going to see Puck TP back to middle lane. He does have a blink, but his ultimate is on cooldown, of course, from killing that Morphling bottom, so he didn't chase out RMN. Mech here almost finished on Kuro. Actually, I think it is finished. I think he just needs like one branch, and then he's done. Oh, no, he doesn't even need the branch. He actually already had his inventory. So he does have his full mech finish now. Morphling. Dying right there. Very, very close to his Lincolns, but not going to get it. Armen sitting Invis on top of Region in this middle lane. Darkseer surging towards middle. Looking like he wants to try to do something. We'll see what happens. Armen still Invis. He's going to be wearing off here in just a second, though. If he comes out at a very bad time, I mean, they could potentially just kill him before he gets his ult off. Even if he does get his ult off, by the way, Rubik stealing Morph in the meantime. Now he's sitting at 1,400 health and buys a medallion too, so that's going to give him some bonus armor. But of course, when he uses the medallion, it just goes back to 0 anyway. Chaos Knight. 2,600 gold saved up, 2-0 and 2. Sitting on top of 80 CS at the moment. Oh man, initiation on Mini in middle lane. He's going to telekinesis here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away. Sentry is placed after the Miranda ult has popped. A couple of impetus auto attacks. Look at how tanky he is. Actually still converting when he was dying. Of course, he already had 0 agility. Anyway, just wanted to make sure that he didn't have anything like that to give him any less HP than he wanted normally. So we're going to see Uebelst make their way down middle. Brewmaster did not have to pop his ult for that, but in the meantime, Waga in a great position to push this top lane as 4 heroes actually trying to push from Uebelst towards the tier 2 mid. We're going to see a glyph popped here. Looks like Puck is going to eventually TP back. Region going in here. Are they going to actually reality rip down to this? It doesn't look like it. And Chaos Knight opting to go for 3 ranks into Chaos Strike before getting any into his Phantasm. A little bit strange. Don't typically see that. Usually you would see at least 2 ranks into Phantasm by now. I think it's more sustained damage. Even if you, I mean, if you get really lucky, I guess, then having crit would be better. But only 1 rank into Phantasm right now is a little bit strange. Don't typically see that. Wagamama teleporting to the bottom lane in the meantime, continuing his farm. He's actually getting very close to his Mjolnir. So once he gets that, he's going to be doing a heck of a lot of right-click damage. Gives him a ton of attack speed. Nope, never mind. He's going to go for an Ultimate Orb instead. So maybe he's going to make a Manta after Maelstrom, which is a definitely strange build. But of course, when you make Maelstrom, it does let you side lane push very, very quickly. If you get a couple of procs, it pretty much melts the creep wave instantly. Allows you to side lane push and basically force the other team to react to what you're doing. Lee spotted out in the top lane. He does have a Lincolns. He's already converting into strength. Region throwing out the stun right into a Lincolns and doesn't reality rift first. So that was a little bit of a misplay. Maybe they just didn't know that he had that Lincolns finished already. A ultimate was going to be a little bit late anyhow. I don't think they would have actually done anything unless that was like a 4-second stun. So Morphling going to be able to make it back to his tier 2 bottom lane just in time to spot out Wagamama, who is continuing his push. A couple of members of Uebelst here sitting mid. Panda got Kuro, have Alex, and that Darkseer as well. We're going to push down mid, tier 2 at half HP. Fishbone is here, though. Of course, with the rest of his team. Arrow not going to miss, or not going to connect anything, rather. Sentry once again placed in this middle lane, and I'm pretty sure that Infused knows that. They don't have Mirana ultimate anyway for another 9 seconds, so I don't think they're going to be choosing to engage into this. But the longer they let this game go, I mean, Morphling is still a pretty scary hero to deal with. Once he gets that Ethereal Blade up, heroes like Mirana aren't that tanky. I mean, that's kind of the downfall, is like, Morphling can shotgun you down. Morphling has pretty much the same mobility as Mirana, has better survivability, and has great burst damage once he gets up that combination of the shotgun with his Adaptive Strike and the Ethereal Blade. So with that in mind, I think that Morphling is probably a better overall kind of a carry role than a Mirana could be in the situation, but Still an interesting pickup here by Infused. That sentry's still down, by the way, so we'll see if they actually choose to walk up the hill and try to kill that. Kuro finishing up his mech. Settled items to himself. Armen sitting at level 10. Wants to get that level 2 Brewmaster ultimate. Has the blink finish, as we already saw in the last couple of team fights. Oh, man. Can he actually get out of here? Yep, he can. No ultimate coming off from Pinoy, so Puck not going to Dream Coil Leaf there off the side. And Morphling gets out of jail again for pretty much nothing. And now the tier 2 going to be pressured here by Uebelst. Not going to see any reaction just yet out of Infused. We have a couple of people standing behind the tower. You're going to see Mirana ultimate popped. No sentries down now. They're going to have a blink in coming out. The silence is on Armen. There's the puck ultimate coming off as well. Telekinesis on Armen. Is he going to drop before he even gets his ultimate off? The mech isn't going to do much of anything. And we're going to see Puck actually try to get out with his phase shift. It's not going to work. 4-second stun on the bottom side onto Kuro. He's going to pop his mech. And Nature's Attendance. He's so tanky, actually. Now Darkseer getting a double kill. Looks like he picked up him around on the backside. Kuro is going to drop as well. And a buyback comes out pretty much straight away. Out of Infused, Wagamama already dead on the left-hand side. We see Alex dropping as well. Many's going to go ahead and get the kill on him. Brewmaster split is used by Armen because he's the one who bought back from his team. And now Region trying to man-fight here with a Darkseer and Brewmaster aspects. I don't know if that's the best idea. 4-second Chaos Bolt should be enough to retreat. Boulder coming in, though, from the high ground of this Earth aspect. Region still being chased down. By the way, picked up a Reaver while he's running away. Leaf now replicating back in. And Armen did not look like he was done just yet. Oh, now he is. 4-second stun. Not going to be pursuing anything after that. Another phase shift out from this Puck, and he's going to go down as well to the adaptive strike of Morphling. So overall, a team fight win here from Uebelst. Unfortunately, Armen had enough for a buyback TP to the tier 1 mid, and that's really where the decision-making kind of fell apart, is because of the fact that that tower was so close. The Brewmaster was able to make it back into the fight so fast that he was able to still get his ultimate off. He hit level 12, or level 11 now, which means level 2 ultimate. And that was just a really, really poor team fight from Infused. I mean, they executed it well, but just unfortunate turn of events that the hero who bought back was the hero that they killed first, and he was still able to get everything off. So, in reality, I guess CK still ended up getting away. Mirana died. Still a slight advantage right there I got to give to Uebelst. And Morphling now sitting at 186 CS. Leaf is doing a phenomenal job of farming all over the map this game, sitting at 3,000 gold. He is only 1-2, so he's going to have his Eagle Song relatively soon, I'm assuming at least, for his Ethereal Blade. If he doesn't want to go for that, he'll probably just go for a Manta or something of that nature. Might even go for a quick Scotty, just to try to kite around the CK and stuff like that. Wagamama sitting on top of 1,100 gold. Has an Ultimate Orb. Has a Maelstrom. Mini, of course, after converting all of his agility and his strength. We saw the arrow go up, actually. 4-second Chaos Bolt onto Alex and the Cold Feet. And there's an auto attack, but not going to be enough to steal the kill as Fishbone actually gets it with his own auto. So Venomancer getting picked off there right after a great team fight coming out of Uebelst. Now, Wagamama playing pretty aggressive here on this Morphling. I don't think he realizes how tanky that Morphling actually is, but Leaf actually going to be the one who waveforms to the side and TPs back to base, so he's playing a little bit scared. Tier 1 still standing pretty strong here, well over half HP. Infused kind of grouping up mid, looking like they want to try to push it down. AA getting very close to his level 2 ultimate. Invisible Armen yet again. 40 seconds on the cooldown of his ultimate, though. Going to see a TP coming in from Venomancer. Blanking, though, on a Fishbone. Throws the Haze and the Clap as well. Steals out the Drunken Haze instead of the Clap, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Now we're going to see Phantasm and Reality Rift onto the Darkseer right here. Now Armen actually going to be forced back. Pipe is popped, and Region in a lot of trouble now. Ethereal Blade not quite finished just yet on this Morphling, but he does have the Eagle Song, Adaptive Strike, and Waveform, more than enough to get the kill. So right now, 8-15. Infuse actually being pushed back here. Looks like Uebelst wants to try to push into the middle lane. 10 seconds left on Brewmaster's split. So this particular engagement not going too favorably for Infuse. Of course, Armen did have the Invis, had a pretty favorable positioning start. Now they're looking to push down this base tower. CK does have buyback, actually, but he's not going to choose to use it just yet. Telekinesis off onto Kuro. Is he going to be able to get out of this? He's going to get frozen to the ground. Puck Orb coming out, and that's going to be a kill right there for Mirana with a couple of right clicks and a Starfall. Reality Rift going off onto Leaf, but again, he does have that Lincoln's 2-second stun going off onto the Darkseer after the Surge, so he's going to be stuck with the Puck Ultimate on. He's going to be used Medallion on as well, and he's not going to be making it back. 2 down. Excellent base defense coming out from Infused. And no buyback even necessary right there. Region picking up an illusion. Phantasm, of course, on cooldown. He's going to try to tank the Roshan here with his illusions, and he will do so with that. Medallion popped on him as well, so that's going to be a pretty fast Roshan attempt here from Infused, and there's not a whole lot that Uebelst can do about it at the moment. They did just lose 2 heroes, especially the Darkseer. That's one hero they really need to fight in this Rosh pit that they don't have at the moment. Oh, my mistake. Yep, CK did buy back. I just had to double check. So he actually had a lot of gold after that fight. That's why I thought that he didn't, but he did in fact buy back for that, so. Puck sitting at level 15. He's actually quite high level. Arrow going off in middle lane, not going to make contact on our men here. Region level 15 himself. Mirana sitting at level 16, going for that Yasha on top of the orb, so she's going to have her Manta relatively soon. Alex sitting on top of an urn and regular boots. Darkseer picking up that point booster. Going for an Ags, I'm sure. Kuro with a point booster of his own. Still only 900 health though, man. That's so low. I mean, he is very, very squishy in this game. Chaos Knight getting very close to his heart. He is not squishy at all, sitting at 2,433 HP at this point in time. Dagon finished on the puck, so they're going all in the burst, man. They want to kill Leaf before he can do much of anything. And I mean, that's definitely an interesting way to do it. In the meantime, it looks like he is going to be setting himself his Ghost Scepter. So he's going to have that Ethereal Blade finished here. I'm assuming they're going to target heroes like Ancient Apparition or Rubik with those combinations. But the one thing that's nice about Rubik against Morphling is that Null Field, 20% free magic resistance against that combination. That's pretty much halving the effectiveness of the Ethereal Blade combination in general, because it's supposed to be minus 40%. But, I mean, that's just really, I wouldn't say super accurate math, but it's pretty close. Wagamama has enough for his Manta right here if he wants to buy it. Throwing out a scouting arrow, but he's going to soon find that nobody's over here. Chaos Knight, almost level 3 Phantasm. Once he gets that, adds another illusion to his army. Rubik going for a 4 staff, picking up his staff of wizardry. Another Invis on this Brewmaster, man. He has Invis like the entire game. The entire game. So, we'll see if that's going to help Uebelst with their next engagement. And if anybody can actually give me like a sound file of how you're supposed to say that, I'm more of like an audio guy than anything else. So if I keep saying it wrong and it's upsetting people, I apologize. But I've never heard anybody say it correctly. So if somebody knows, just send me an audio file and I'll fix it for you guys. So I know a couple of people are saying it in the chat, but it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. Our men still farming away in this middle lane. Level 13. Got the 2 ranks in the Drunken Haze. Mirana finishes up the Manta. 800 gold on top of that. Invid's going to be popped here by our men. Looks like he's going to go ahead and scout out the middle lane. Region sitting on top of his heart now. 2,700 health for him. Ooh, arrow just barely dodged right there. 2-second stun going off onto the Darkseer. Are they going to engage into this? Looks like Arman wants to line up a big clap. He is going to manage to hit 2. Surge on a mini, though. He steals Surge. Now we're going to see the Brewmaster able to come off. And Phantasm double vacuum right there. Wagamama in a lot of trouble. Looks like the Aegis has already dropped. His lead comes in from the side. Waveforming right into Region, who is still going on Kuro at the moment. Nice opening coming out from Puck. Looks like it hits 3 or 4. And Region drops as well in the meantime. So now Aegis down. 1 down on Infused and 1 down for Uebelst at the moment. Now Mini running away. Another vacuum on Fishbone into the Darkseer wall. Darkseer actually stuck himself into the cold feet there. Pinoy trying to retreat up to the high ground. Brewmaster still chasing people away. Looks like Rubik steals the Drunken Haze, and Leaf coming in from the back side to go ahead and pick off Puck with another shotgun combination. Ethereal Blaze up in 1 second, and Brewmaster takes him out. So that is going to be a giant teamfight win coming out for Uebelst. Of course, the Mirana had Aegis, and they still lost that pretty badly. So now we're going to see if they're going to go ahead and choose to go up middle lane, or if they want to just go ahead and try to push somewhere else. I think that there is still a replicate up here from this Morphling. And where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. It's a replicate of the Mirana. So now Leaf going to be making his way back up the lane, picking up an Ogre Club, by the way. So he's going to go for that BKB, level 19. Pipe is popped here. Wow, he actually went into that arrow. Going to be tanked here by Leaf. Double damage popped on him as well. A ultimate is going to come out. Is Leaf actually going to die to this? Lincoln's is triggered. Can he actually get away? He does waveform out. Now Pa's in a lot of trouble as well. Cold Feet goes off. Surges away, though. Not going to get caught inside of that. And it looks like Infuse manages to stop the tide right there with the help of Puck buying back into the game. Unfortunately, Puck did not have ultimate for that. They probably would have been able to kill Leaf if they did. So 5 seconds left on cooldown. But this particular game, a lot of action happening in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, I would say. It was pretty passive early on, but now that everybody has their ultimates up, they're still looking to try to team fight and things like that. Wagamama 1,200 gold still. 173 CS. Second highest in the game. Next to that, Morphling, though. But Morphling is so far ahead. 456 gold per minute. He has 100 more than the next highest in the game, which is pretty big. Another arrow going to be going off towards middle lane, trying to scout things out. Regen actually going to spot the Darkseer, but he gets fogged there at nighttime. Reality Rift does not go off. Pos coming back in, going to see a TP coming in from Armen. He doesn't have ult this time, though. Nice vacuum, though. Going to hit a bunch, and a counter vacuum as well coming out from the Rubik. Now we're going to see Regen going with the Reality Rift. That's going to be a very dead Darkseer. Dies pretty much instantaneously. One down already, and now we're going to see Infused continue to chase right here. Alex in a lot of trouble after the Reality Rift comes out. Rubik picking up the kill with the Fade Bolt. Armen on full retreat. 15 seconds left. Oh, man, shotgun combination going on the mini. It's not going to be enough to kill, though. Silence comes off, and the Cold Feet. It's not going to actually root him to the ground, though. Armen, in the meantime, going back in on many. Very aggressive play. Telekinesis actually on cooldown for another 10 seconds in the backside. Wagma manages to pick off Kuro behind the tier 2 mid. There's that going off by Puck on Armen to seal the kill. And the rest of Infuse is going to be able to retreat scotch-free. Mini not even dropping right there. So a 4-for-0 trade. Leaf, the only one living through that. Looks like Infuse wants to try to push the tier 2 mid. Absolutely insane team fight right there for Infuse. Manages to take out almost the entirety of their opposition without losing a single hero. And Phantasm popped here by Regen. That's going to be a pretty dead tower. Tier 2 drops pretty much instantly. They're going to continue this push, by the way. Manta Illusions popped as well. 5 seconds left in the Darkseer. Armen's actually dead for 15 more seconds. He does have his ultimate when he's up, though, but they already used the glyphs, so this tower going to be going down here. Phantasm going to be fading here in just a second, so they're going to go ahead and fall back after they push the base tower, which I think is the right call. Go ahead and take a look at the gold graph. This game was so even so far. Like, I don't think I've seen a gold graph that even in quite a long time, and somebody's got hit by an arrow. Looks like it was Darkseer, but of course Infuse is not going to be going on that. Experience now for almost 5,000 in favor of Infuse. 11-22 at 37 minutes, guys. Once again, this is just the second game of the day. We got a lot more Dota 2 coming after this. The rest of the losers bracket, round 3, of course, and then after that, the best of 3 and the loser bracket finals, and then the grand finals after that on the main stage, which I'm not sure if I'll be able to cast or not, but I hope that I can for you guys if my voice even lasts that long, because it's going to be all solo cast all day. I want to thank you guys once again for joining us. My name is Draskyl on behalf of NEODota.com. We're bringing you these games today of WCG/SCE tournament at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. But for right now, Morphling trying to do what he can to keep this game alive for his team. He almost has his BKB. And once he gets that, I think he can pretty much go into a team fight and be essentially fearless. He can shotgun whoever he wants. There's not really too much right-click damage aside from the CK that he has to worry about. But Phantasm is up, and he's getting beat on by a couple of illusions, and the CK himself, of course, now picking up a Hyperstone as well, so probably going for an AC. So this particular game, I think that he's not going to be that scared. With the BKB, he's going to be pretty manly after that point. Invis actually, for once, not on Armen, picked up here by Pinoy instead. And they're going to try to take out Armen right here. Can they actually do it, though? The rest of the team's coming by. There's the arrow coming off, and the Puck ultimate. It is going to make contact after the silence. There's a telekinesis, and that's going to be a very dead Brewmaster. No way he's living through that kind of a combination. And with Brewmaster dead, no buyback money at all. Rubik picking up a blink. Excellent pickoff right there. The first time, of course, that he doesn't get an Invis himself, he gets picked off by. Now, Alex going to be Reality Rifted. That's going to be a 2-second stun, so not quite as long as he might have wanted. Orb going to be coming off, but Surge lasting longer than even the stun duration itself from the Chaos Bolt. So it looks like Alex will be able to make it back to the base. Phantasm's up once again, though. Do they actually have Glyph this time? No, they do not. So Infused might be looking to push a Rax right here. Darkseer Wall is up. It's level 3 with Aghanim Scepter. Is that going to be enough to defend against all these illusions? Phantasm and Manta is popped. There's a Darkseer Wall, and it hits pretty much everyone. Illusions everywhere. Can't really tell what's going on. It's just a war of illusions right now. It looks like a shotgun combo is going to be able to pick off Puck on the backside. Leaf coming in very aggressively. Murata pops the ultimate, and the Rax barely stays standing. Darkseer Wall enough to defend the Rax for the moment. The rest of Infused just completely on full retreat right now. Replicate is going to be used. Is he going to go to it, though? Surge up once again. Arrow actually going to hit on the Replicate, and he teleports to it and eats a telekinesis stun from his own illusion. That was definitely interesting. Leaf still very, very farmed in this game. Darkseer pretty farmed himself, sitting at 156, 4, 2, and 7. Morphling level 21, 100 CS ahead of the next highest, sitting at almost 300 at just 39 minutes into the game. BKB now finished on him, and I think that Uebelst is going to be wanting to push here. BKB is going to be sent to him across the map. They defended the melee racks. This is a pretty big deal push right here. Armen does have his ultimate. It's only level 2, but he does have the Scepter, so that's going to be boosting him pretty well. We'll see if Infuse can actually defend against his. 5 seconds left. Blink in from Armin, 3-second cast bolt. There's the telekinesis once again. Can they actually kill him before he gets the ult off? Fishbone not even going to pop his ultimate though. Brewmaster split is going to go off. Now they're going on to Region actually, of all people, quite tanky. The A ultimate's not going to really do much of anything. Now we're going to see a blink in from Mini. He throws up the clap, and Region is going to drop here. Morphling in the base, popping the BKB, chasing everybody out at the moment. Now Darkseer's still on full retreat as Wagmama is going to drop to Leaf as well. He gets Medallion buybacks over the place. Marana going to buy back. Everyone's still alive from Infused because of those buybacks. Region, the second one to buy out. Arrow going to go off. Leaf is going to be able to dodge it and forcing buybacks on the left-hand side. It looks like Puck Ultimate is finally going to be used here on Darkseer to stop a TP. There's a Reality Rift, and eventually CK gets the kill, or Rubik, excuse me, gets the kill, but wow. Base defense after base defense. They get the base tower, and they drop a sentry inside the base just for the Marana ultimate, but Crystal is picked up here on this Marana as well. So now Infused just on full freaking charge down middle lane. Darkseer does have enough money to buy back. Venomancer, however, does not. Kuro should be up for the next push anyway. Darkseer is going to go ahead and buy back. He does have his wall up, and it looks like Infused is going to go ahead and back up. Roshan's alive, by the way. So we'll see if we can actually have a Roshan attempt without any contention this game. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. Infused making their way into the pit. Now they do have the Medallion once again, so it's going to be very fast. Rubik going for the full mobility build. He does have level 3 of his ultimate now, so Spell Steal lasts a very long time. Colby going to go off, freeze Roshan in place. And right now, Radiant's trying to contest this. They're trying to get there in time, but it's just not going to be fast enough. And Marana going to go ahead and pick up the Aegis. Telekinesis going off onto a replicate of Kuro. Looks like they want to use pretty much everything on that. Arrow's going to land on Aramen. He doesn't even have his ult for 40 seconds, so I don't know if they want to engage into this, but I guess they do. Aramen come in, and he does have that blink dagger. We're going to see a hastener pop by Puck, and they're going to go right onto Region. Again, of all the heroes, he's so tanky. There's a Darkseer wall, hits 3 heroes, and wow, look at how fast Enchantress just died right there to Region. And Darkseer's going to drop as well. Phantasm is doing so much damage. Wagamama throwing out the auto attacks from the high ground as well. That's going to be a double kill for him, and Aramen is almost dropping as well. Leaf coming in from the backhand side. BKB already down. Puck blinking up. Oh, wow, excellent blink from Aramen. Gets away just in time. Now Leaf desperately trying to run away from the rest of Infused. Region, the only hero dead right now on their team. Arrow going to be coming off here. Is it actually going to make contact? Oh, just barely dodges it. Holy cow, going to see a Puck ultimate come off here. And here comes the A ultimate. Telekinesis as well. Leaf might not make it back to base this time. Oh, actually gets thrown over the cliff by the stolen adaptive strike of many, but it's not going to matter. Now this tier 2 looking to be in some trouble. Aegis was lost there by Marana, so 15 to 30 now. Infused was still a very sizable kill lead, but I guess they're just going to go ahead and fall back again and choose not to try and push. Not going for the tower, even though it was pushed up down here. I think they probably could have gotten that if they really wanted to, but I guess you're just going to go ahead and back up. Play it safe. Don't want to get picked off or anything like that. Brewmaster Ultimate is finally back up. It's going to be level 3 for the next team fight, by the way. I'm not really sure why they keep focusing Region so heavily. I mean, he does a lot of damage, but he's a CK who has a heart. I don't know. Our men farming away these Ancients to try to hit level 16. Kuro sitting at only level 12, actually. He's quite far behind. Check the gold per minute graph here. 469 for the Morphling, still leading. 416 for Wagamama on that Marana. And then Region going to be following that up with 381 on that CK. Net worth, of course, Morphling the highest, 17,500 gold. Next highest, Waga sitting at just under 15,000, and then Region sitting at 12.1k. So, 3,200 gold saved up on this Marana. We'll see if he wants to go for a Daedalus or what he's going to be making after this, because he just made a Maelstrom, didn't even finish it. He's probably going to finish it eventually, but not really sure what item he's going to choose to go for, and he's going to pick up an Ogre Club. So it looks like he just wants a bunch of tier 1 damage items, and then he's going to make a BKB on top of that with a Manta. Definitely an interesting build. Haven't really seen that before. Infused. Going to go ahead and smoke up here. Looks like they want to try to pick somebody off and go for just a game win. Brewmaster does have buyback gold if he dies. He has quite a bit of reliable gold at the moment, so... Infused going to be making their way into the Radiance jungle here. See if they can actually pick anybody off. And they don't have any vision of this either. Oh, man. Oh, man. Kuro and Armen are going to be in so much trouble. Kuro's going to run right into them. There's a cold feet coming off, and Armen immediately blinks out. Excellent reaction time, but Kuro, unfortunately, is not so lucky as he drops instantaneously. Replicant going to be used there on Region to try to give him some kind of a tanky fallback device, but that thing's pretty much going to be taken down. Now he's got to wait another 60 seconds or so. Be able to use that again. And now we're going to see Infused try to push up in this bottom lane. And I think they're going to have no problem pushing into this tier 2. As Region is leading the charge here once again, playing that CK. going for his AC, picking up a chainmail in addition to that hyperstone, sitting inside the bank. Tower now, actually within deny range, so Region's gonna come up there and just whack it with his scythe, hammer, mace thing and get himself a little bit of gold. Take a peek at the gold, actually, by the way. 7,500 now in favor of Infused. 15,000 experience in Infused favor as well, and that's just pretty much because the last couple of team fights, they fought around Roche, they had Aegis for it. They were able to take the team fight win. Not really as big of a deal in gold as it is in experience to get all of those. Right now, Fishbone sitting on top of a mech and a Force Staff. He's actually pretty farm for support. He's 6-1, by the way. Only 1 death on Fishbone. That is actually very impressive. You're going to see the ultimate go off. Blink and telekinesis from Mini. Where's the fade? Well, actually, already went off. Never mind. Kuro taking quite a bit of damage. Medallion popped as well. And poor Kuro, man. He is just getting picked off all over the place. He is 0-11. Oh, my goodness. That is definitely not the kind of game you want to have. 0-8 Venomancer 2. Oh, dear. Oh, freaking dear.
Double damage.
Regenerate.
Double damage there picked up by our men. Mirana picking up a regeneration of her own. Leaf has the replicate out. He does have the BKB finish. 2,700 gold. We'll see what he's going to be building after this. Maybe a Manta, maybe a Butterfly. Who knows? Regen going to be farming up, getting closer towards his AC. He's going to have enough for that plate mail. Then after that, he's going to be about 900 away from finishing the recipe. Then he'll have his completed Assault Cuirass finished. Bot's actually picked up here on Puck. Going for just the ultimate mobility. He does have that Dagon finish and ultimate orb, so probably going to be going a Hex after that. See if anybody else has any more big items on the way. Wow, 4,300 gold already saved up again by this Mirana. Wagamama's farm has just pretty much gone completely out of control. He was actually having a little bit of a rough start, but now he's just completely recovered. He has so much money. He can finish his BKB in one shot if he wants to. Middle lane looks like Mini's actually going to be caught off here. Brewmaster split goes off, and it might be a complete waste as Mirana pops her ultimate as well, and he can't find anyone. So Brewmaster ultimate is going to be down here. Looks like the rest of Infused is going to try to wrap around and see if they can catch the Brewmaster after the ultimate wears off. It's going to be ticking down here. Arrow going off. Is he going to make contact? Ooh, barely clips the creep wave. That would have definitely hit Kuro. And now he's going to get caught out anyway. Reality Rifted in with telekinesis and the blink out from Mini. Faybolt goes off. There's the Chaos Boltus and the blink KS with the Dagon coming out of Puck. And that is death number 12 there for the Enchantress. Leaf going to teleport in here. Does quite a bit of damage to Wagamama with the Ethereal Blade combination, but going to go ahead and go to his replicate. Mech going to be popped here by Infused, looking to push down this middle lane. They don't have an Enchantress. They do have Darkseer once again, though, with that wall, with Scepter. We saw last time. It was enough to defend. This Rax is actually fully recovered on its HP. We're going to hear Phantasm go off. There's a Darkseer wall. And they're going to pull Regen actually not quite into it. That was a little bit of a miss vacuum. Now those illusions. Look at how tanky those things are. Wow, those Phantasms are actually almost killing the Rax by themselves. Oh my goodness. Those things do so much damage, and the rest of Infused is going to go ahead and fall back. They're not even going to try to fight it. Roshan up in about 3.5 seconds here. Well, minutes, not seconds, but Reality Rift going off, middle lane, onto RMN. They're going to see the Puck ultimate go off as well. RMN, no ultimate this time. We're going to see Puck going with his initiation as well. A ultimate is going to hit just the Darkseer, basically. BKB pop by Leaf. He's going into Wagamama. Can he actually get the kill? Adaptive Strike goes off. Is he going to be able to get it? No, he starts turning around. Instead, he can't actually get the kill. Dagon goes off, and that's going to be a dead Morphling. He buys back into the game instantly, though. Regen taking a couple of auto attacks and gets force staffed out by his teammates. Telekinesis off on RMN. He is Iron Shelled as well. Actually thrown into himself. Now, Many in a lot of trouble. Impetus going off from Kuro, and that's going to be a base defense. Wagamama has no HP left to fight with. In the meantime, top of the hill by the ward spot, Puck was able to TP out of the fight, so they managed to defend. Uebelst doing an excellent job at keeping their base safe. Again, I mean, they didn't even lose their racks. How did they keep defending? They didn't even have Brewmaster ult right there. Level 17 on this Brewmaster. He does have his ult now. So they're going to be pushing up this lane. See if they can manage to make anything happen here towards mid. They are still missing Rubrik, but I believe, yep, he can buy back if he needs to. He's just waiting on it. So Rubrik will be up for this team fight. Dagon going off from the Puck. Just being very annoying. He does have his Hex finish, by the way. Regen. Double damage going to be fading here in just a second. Getting very close with AC. He's probably just saving for buyback just to be safe. I think that's probably the best way to go about this next team fight. Iron Shell's being popped on the creeps. Waiting for the pipe to be popped. This could be a potential base here for Uebelst. They can manage to push it in. Kuro taking a little bit of damage there from the lightning out of Wagamama. And he is going to be going for a Daedalus, by the way, not finishing a BKB. I mean, he just has, like, the weirdest mishmash of items. He's got a recipe for Daedalus, a Crystallis. He's got an Ogre Club, a Maelstrom, and a Manta. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that kind of a build before. He just keeps changing his mind on what he wants to make. He's like, all right, I'm going to get a crit. No, I'm going to get lightning. No, I'm going to get a BKB. I'm going to cringe my crit now. So, okay, there we go. He did finish his Daedalus. Sitting on top of 2k in addition to that, so he's going to be right-clicking relatively hard. Venomancer sitting at level 13. Level 2 ultimate for him. Brew with his, I want to say, 20th Invis rune of the game. Around there. You can see it bottled up here. Armen, just the king of Invis this game. Ancient Apparition with level 3 ultimate down. That's actually a pretty big deal, man. Level 3 Ale hits for 450. That's 12%. The threshold where you basically instantly die after that point. 12% of your max HP. Once you get below that threshold, you're just dead, pretty much. Pinoy being chased out here by the entirety of Uebelst. Roshan is going to be up here in just a couple of seconds, and everyone on the Radiant side is really out of position. They're actually trying to chase down this puck. Away from up here by Leaf. He's actually getting caught. He's going to try to TP out, and they have no way of really stopping this. Oh, wow. Vacuum was actually on cooldown. Mirana pops her ultimate in the meantime. Not really sure why she felt it was necessary to do that, but they are going to be able to take Roshan at the very least, so. Free Roshan coming out here from Infused, and that's going to be Cheese. So now AC and Cheese on the CK. Aegis once again picked up by Wagamama playing that Mirana. 52 minutes into the game, 16 to 34. We'll see if Radiant has what it takes. Uebelst to defend against this kind of a push. Region coming in middle lane. He's going to throw the Rally Rift onto Darkseer. Is the wall down? It is going to be dropped. Phantasm popped as well. Who's he going to go on? He's actually attacking creeps right now. And there we go. Finally going on the Darkseer. Region taking quite a bit of damage. He does have the Cheese of the rest of his team in the back. He pops the Cheese, trying to retreat out of this team fight right now. And he's going to be dropped, actually. And now we're going to see the rest of Infused try to retreat. Looks like Mirana thrown up in the air. Brewmaster Overland is popped here. Darkseer taking quite a bit of damage. There's a Fable for a minute to go ahead and secure the kill. Starfall goes off. Actually, I believe from Wagamama as he leaps away. Now we're going to see Rubik, the one flying in the air. Arrow's going to go off, but not going to hit anything right here. Wagamama still has that Aegis. They're going to continue to fight right here. Puck coming back in. Has the ultimate. Is he actually going to use it right here to try to chase? And there we go. Finally catching RMN as Venomancer drops, and they finally baited out. Rubik stole Brewmaster ultimate, by the way, so he's going to be chasing back into this team fight with Brewmaster aspects, and those are very, very strong ones to boot. And they are going to go ahead and win that team fight pretty handedly. Rubik stealing ultimate again. Oh dear. That is a little bit problematic. 3-for-1 trade right there. Region so tanky, but ended up dropping twice regardless. Unfortunately, no BKB. Took quite a bit of damage from the Venomancer and the Darkseer Ion Shell and stuff like that. Just kind of residual AoE damage. He lasted for a long time. So this game looking pretty good for Infused at the moment. A 20 kill lead, but you know what? I gotta give props to Uebelst for defending it as well as they have. We're going to see Brewmaster buy back. He doesn't have his ult for this. If this isn't a melee Rax, I don't know what is. Like, if this melee Rax doesn't die here, I will just be flabbergasted. Hex going off on a Leaf in the side. Looks like Dragon Haze was stolen here by Mini. Cole taking it off onto the high ground. Mantilution's popped, and they're going to back out again! They're not going to go for it! Is there like a no Rax clause in this game or something like that? Infuse just absolutely refuses to try to kill a Rax. Even with no Brewmaster ultimate, with no, well, actually Darkseer Wall was up there, but, I mean, I don't know what to say. One or two more auto attacks would have killed that Rax for sure. And Waga still has an Aegis. I think losing an Aegis for a Rax is worth it, especially considering I seriously doubt he would have died again, but I guess if you want to play that safe, I guess I don't really see any problem with that. 10, 2, and 14 for this Mirana, by the way, sitting at 292 CS, second highest in the game, second to only the Morphling, who's sitting at 380. He is going to be going for a Butterfly, by the way, picking off his second Eagle Song on top of his Lincolns, BKB, and Ethereal Blade, so his shotgun's going to be pretty darn scary in the next team fight. He has over 240 agility at the moment. I think he's sitting at 246, yep. He still has some strength, though. He's not going all in on the agility front just yet, but he's still doing quite a bit of damage himself. Our men does have split up. We'll see if they want to go on this middle lane. They're actually missing the Morphling out right now, though. Oh, there is a replicate here, though. Never mind. Gonna see a blink in from RMN, but a nice counter blink right there. Many able to get himself away. The ultimate going towards bottom lane. Hitting Leaf right there. He's gonna go ahead and teleport to middle lane. Waveform back to his team. And still, no Rax yet. It is a 55-minute game with absolutely zero Rax. This is insane. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Wagamama 6,000 gold saved up. If he goes for a rapier or something, then that would be pretty manly, but I don't think he's going to do that. With as safe as they've been playing, I doubt that's going to be the case. 5-man smoke up. Looks like they want to try to catch Wagamama. They're going to catch Region. Vacuum in on 2 right there. Region is stuck by the wall. Pops the Phantasm. Goes right back in on Enchantress. Enchantress taking quite a bit of damage from the Reality, and of course, he drops pretty much instantly. There goes Wagamama, though. Can be up in just a second. There's the Reality Ripple once again. Chaos Bolt eaten by the Lincoln's. Region taking quite a bit of damage. Here comes the ultimate from the back. Brewmaster ultimate is popped once again. Now Region trying to retreat. Can't actually get up to the high ground. No, he can't. And Uebelst looks like they're actually winning this team fight a little bit at a time. And now we're going to see Leaf taking quite a bit of damage himself. Morphling going to be the last one to fall, and that could be the turn of the tide right there. And now Infused pressuring as much as they can, as we're going to see Draskyl drop as well as Mirana throwing off too much auto attack damage that Aegis just a little bit too much to deal with. And 5 heroes down, taking out the CK. I mean, they're just attacking the tankiest hero over and over again. I'm not really sure why they decide to go on him of all heroes, but I mean, the CK with a heart and an AC, maybe not the best target, but now Infused is going to be able to take that middle lane. Take a look at the golden experience right here. Yep, 15,000 gold, and yep, over 30,000 experience in favor of Infused. 18 to 42. Pretty big lead. We're going to see POI blink and throw out the Hex. There's an arrow. Nice telekinesis backwards. Excellent anticipation for Wagamama this game on his arrows. He landed a ton of excellent arrows. Rubik played phenomenally well. I think we're going to be seeing the GGs coming out relatively soon, guys. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching this broadcast. This is WCG/SE loser bracket game, best of ones. We're going to be going to MTW versus SGC next. If you guys want to watch that, feel free. If you want to follow us on NEODota at Twitch TV, feel free to do that as well. We'd be welcoming you back to all of our broadcasts. Of course, you can check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook as well at NEODota 2. And there we go. GG well played comes out from Uebelst. They're officially out of this tournament. This is a loser bracket best of one, so they are out of here. Props to them, though, for doing as well as they did, considering how much of a kill lead Infused pretty much had this entire game. But that's going to be it for now. We're going to be back, guys, again with MTW versus SGC in just a little bit, so stay